Turning crude oil and natural gas into sellable products is a complicated business. We'll start by breaking down what gets done in each step of the value chain. Later, we'll clarify the who, the players involved. First, an overview. Where upstream ends, mid and downstream begin. And in mid and downstream, the value chain has 4 distinct steps. 1. Sourcing the raw supply. 2. Transporting and storing it, which happens at various stages. 3. Turning the raw supply into usable products, called processing and refining. And 4. Selling and distributing those products to various customers. The boundary between midstream and downstream isn't perfectly aligned with these steps. Generally, midstream is focused on transportation and storage, both before and after the refining and processing. However, as we'll see, some processing can fall here as well. The core activities of downstream are, conversely, processing and refining, and sales and distribution, though they may take on some transportation and storage too. The value chains are distinct for the 2 distinct types of supply: oil, crude oil, and gas, raw natural gas. Oil, once sourced, is transported in its natural liquid state to facilities called refineries, where it is turned from crude oil into various end products, which are eventually sold and delivered to customers. The specific sales and distribution pathways vary by the product and the end customer. Business customers can be served via direct sales, say a large chemicals company buying petrochemical feedstocks directly from the refinery, or more commonly via intermediaries like wholesalers or so-called traders, the companies that buy and resell oil and gas products. The 2 major oil products that meaningfully sell directly to consumers and require a retail network accordingly are gasoline and diesel. Gas follows a different, though parallel, journey. Processing raw natural gas, which is far more homogeneous than oil, is simpler and is not even called refining, but simply processing. Unlike crude oil, natural gas is not sold and moved in its raw form. Instead, it's processed near the point of extraction. While physically near the upstream site, this processing step itself is typically considered midstream. In gas processing, the raw natural gas, sometimes called wet gas, is split into methane, called dry gas, and everything else, often called Y-grade. The everything else contains slightly larger hydrocarbons like propane, 3 carbons, and pentane, 5 carbons. These are typically kept as liquids under pressure. Dry gas itself is a finished product ready to be sold to customers. In the mid and downstream stages, the term natural gas is often used to describe dry gas rather than raw natural gas. Dry gas can be sold directly to businesses, primarily to power plants that turn it into electricity, or via intermediaries like traders. While there is no retail per se, dry gas is distributed all the way to individual buildings via smaller pipe networks. This is managed by so-called natural gas distribution companies. In any of these cases, the dry gas can then follow 2 physical paths to market. It can move as gas overland in pipelines. This is the relatively easy path. After the initial investment to build pipeline networks, transportation is relatively straightforward. But to cross oceans, ships are needed. This is a harder path. The dry gas must be condensed into liquefied natural gas, or LNG, at a liquefaction facility, then shipped, then regasified, and sent to customers via pipeline. The Y-grade mixture has a different journey. It goes through a second processing called fractionation, where it is separated into various component parts, aka fractions. You'll hear the various resulting products called natural gas liquids, or NGLs.